the station that leaves no listener behind.
The stations that leave no listener behind. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And tonight, it's just going to be me and Kyle. And
Again.
and Joe. Yeah, we've been...
Joe.
It's not our fault, you guys. You know,
No,
we get
it's
these
never,
people
yeah.
coming on the show, but in particularly, you know, if you have two people, one person always tends to slip. So
Yeah.
he actually went MIA today. I hope he's doing good. I hope he
Yeah.
calls us back.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely have them on another time. It's actually kind of crazy. We're pretty booked.
We are.
Yeah, for the next about month and a half, 2 months, and that's just how it's been. So I love the results from you guys. I love the support. So tonight we have a full hour, but before we get to it, we'll have Kyle run our sponsor.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And our man Secondhand Sam up at Second Chance Thrift Store on Yucaipa Boulevard and 2nd Street.
Yeah. Say again? No, it's not. Joe, our board op, asked me if that was my store. It is not my store, unfortunately. I think that would be cool, though, to own a thrift store.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
The way that thrift store actually operates is people donate their things to him. So it's a small business, family owned, and it's not one of these like corporations or like franchises or anything like that. So he is very blessed and appreciates all the help that he can get. He's actually has so much stuff in there that you guys need to go check it out and maybe buy some stuff. The holidays are just around the corner.
Holidays are just around the corner. Go check it out. There's a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yeah, and you don't have to spend, you know, all your money and all your finances and all your savings on, you know, just these holidays that are coming up. I did that last year and I learned my lesson. I actually, since last year, I don't like Christmas. And I'll tell you why, because, again, especially if you have a big family, you know, you can't just buy one person a gift, right?
No, you got to buy their kid a gift. You got to
Yeah,
buy
and you
the
can't leave
husband.
someone out either because then they
right.
feel some type of way.
Yeah.
You know, and which is actually crazy because my mom, her birthday is on Christmas, and
man.
there hasn't been a year where we just celebrated her birthday. You know, like we always got our gifts and she got her gifts, but what's so special about her birthday if there's nothing special, you know?
Yeah, right.
So I really think, I know my mom's listening right now, so I think this year we should just have your birthday and not buy anyone else presents. But then of course everyone's like, what about the kids?
Yeah.
You know, because
what-
I got two nieces who are like 2 years old and 3 years old, so of course they got to get Christmas presents, all that stuff. But speaking of the holidays, we are in October, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, October's a good month.
Yeah, what do you like about Halloween? Do you enjoy Halloween?
I do love Halloween. Yeah, like just taking the kids out just to go trick or treating. I like it almost better than Christmas.
Ooh. And why's that?
I tend to see a lot more family members, or I tend to see a lot more people that I care about on Halloween than I do Christmas.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, it's kind of weird. That's just how my family operates, I guess. But
That's funny. Do you remember the first time you went trick or treating?
yeah, I was. I think I was about 4. I dressed up as the Blues Clues.
The Blues Clues.
I
That's
remember
awesome.
that, yeah, I still have that picture somewhere.
Man, that's great. You know, for some of these listeners out here, you kind of like know my background, but my family's came from like a pretty religious background,
Yeah.
and so we never celebrated Halloween. You know,
Oh, man.
and like we didn't tell the church we celebrated Christmas, but we all got presents anyways. You know, but we
Yeah.
didn't tell them. And my first time trick or treating was like in 5th or 6th grade,
Okay.
and I didn't know what to dress up as. So I put my hair like in a faux hawk. I put a leather jacket on, and I painted like my face like half black, half white, and I called myself a Mexican rock star. And that was the first time going out, and my parents were just like, you know, they didn't really agree with it, but
Yeah.
we're getting older, you know, we got to live a little bit. And plus my dad, we never put up Christmas lights either,
Right. Okay.
right? And my dad, it's because he doesn't like lights, and he's always out front out front on the porch, like drinking his coffee, smoking a cigarette until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah.
he doesn't want Christmas lights on. You know what I mean? So, and then my grandpa, he's one of those guys who put up the Christmas lights, and it's been up there for like 13 years. He never took them down.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like even in June, you drive by his house and there's like Christmas lights. It's like, what the heck? So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But since it is Halloween, I looked up some stories about Halloween, and one of them is the jack-o'-lantern. It actually comes from the Irish legend of Stinging Jack. So legend has it that Stinging Jack invited the devil to have a drink with him, but Jack didn't want to pay for the drink. So he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin. Instead of buying the drink, he pocketed the coin and kept it close to a silver cross in his house, preventing the devil from taking shape again. He promised to let the devil go as long as he would leave Jack alone for a year, and that if Jack died, the devil wouldn't claim his soul. After a year, Jack tricked the devil again to leave him alone and not claim his soul. When Jack died, God didn't want such a conniving person in heaven, and the devil, true to his word, would not allow him into hell. Jack was sent off into the night with only a burning coal to light his path. He placed the coal inside a carved-out turnip and has been roaming the earth ever since. People in Ireland and Scotland began creating their own creations of jack-lanterns out of turnips, beets, and potatoes. The tradition traveled to the United States along with the immigrants, and people began to use pumpkins native to North America for the lanterns instead.
Oh, I didn't know pumpkins were native to North America.
I didn't know that either until before this show started. But it's pretty cool.
Can you imagine a potato, like, a lantern?
Start carving out the potatoes.
That's weird.
Or like beets or something.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I went to my brother's house this weekend, and we went pumpkin carving.
Oh, nice.
So that was really cool. My little nieces, obviously, they were not going to be handling knives or anything like that, so they just got to like paint their pumpkins.
Yeah.
But I'm not an artistic person at all.
Yeah.
So my pumpkins just ended up turning, just like trash. Like we just don't even light them up because how bad it is. So I actually just started experiencing a lot of holiday festivities and going to like festivals and stuff.
Okay.
The older I get, just because when we were young, we just didn't do that. Even as bad as we wanted to, my parents were like, no, we don't do that stuff. So it's kind of crazy. And some people are like, oh, you don't celebrate like Christmas or like Halloween? Like, are you Jehovah or are you like Mormon? Right? I'm like, nah, just Baptist, but a different type of Baptist. Yeah.
Yeah, my family treats Halloween almost as important as Christmas, only because I'm 50% Spanish. I've one of my grandparents were born in Mexico, and the Day of the Dead thing is really important. It's like a 4-day thing that takes place in October. So, we ate, we had a feast, and then we gave some of the food. We made an altar to our dead relatives. That's just what you did.
Wow. And when do you do that?
I believe it's the first week of October.
Okay, so have you done it already then?
I actually went out to L.A. To what's that street? Olvera Street. There's a big festival every year for Day of the Dead. Everyone wears the masks. Everyone, it's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Next year we gotta go, but and then there's a whole bunch of street food, like super cheap. Everyone's just hanging out, like singing hymns, and it's cool.
That's awesome. And what are you gonna be doing this year for Halloween? Do you have any special plans?
Halloween this year? No.
I mean, it does land on a Monday, so.
I actually have a Monday off. I actually have the Monday off.
There you go.
But I work Tuesday morning early, so I can't really stay out too late.
Right. I actually have the morning shift, but my buddy, he was like, "Hey, you want to go out to Sean's house?" Every year his parents throw an awesome Halloween party. Like their house is so big and like they love themes. Okay. So like last year when I went, like their pool was lit up. They had like a bloody water pool. They had like a pirate ship like inside the pool with like skeletons like hanging over. Like they just go all out, and like they're super wealthy, right? So they can just buy all the stuff.
Oh man.
But what I think is sad though is like year after year, there's like people spend less time, you know, setting up for Halloween and for Christmas. You
Yeah, I
know,
noticed that. Yeah.
I remember as a kid, you know, driving home and stuff. Well, my mom driving home, like there would be like Christmas lights on every single house.
Yeah.
Now there's blocks where there's no Christmas lights.
Yeah. Well, now it's HOA.
Yeah,
Um,
you get, and plus with all these crazy like inflation like prices and stuff, and like your electricity bill, it's pretty hard, you know.
yeah, it is.
Did you guys set up anything for your house for Halloween?
Not yet. I don't know. I have to figure it out. My dad's in Texas, so
That's right.
yeah. So my family's taking care of him. So I'm probably gonna buy some decorations and stuff. Just to set up front.
You know, for those who don't know, I'm a real estate agent at Lois Lauer and Ukaipa, and I have this in my notes, but it might be a hard time finding it. But we're doing a trunk or treat.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, on the 27th, I believe it's at the Calamasa Country Club. I don't want to say it wrong on the air because then everyone's going to go and it's like, watch it not be there.
Yeah.
You know? But we are doing a trunk or treat, and I will be participating. Hopefully, I know that we've been talking about it in and out.
Yeah.
But each car has like a theme, right? And I was like, oh, dude, because I don't have that much money. But I was like, what can I do to deck out my car? And simple. I was like, I'll just do like a spider theme, you know, get like the spider webs, like open my trunk and then create little
Yeah,
spider web and then just put
okay.
like spiders in there and then like the bucket full of candy. But you know what's crazy? I saw a video the other day and it's like, what about the kids who are like diabetic or just can't have candy or can't have sweets?
Right.
Like, what do you do for them during Halloween? You know?
Yeah.
Like, hopefully you don't give them like notepads and like pens and,
Oh,
and like
man.
pencils and stuff.
There was
but-
always that neighbor that like handed out like vegetables.
yeah. Yeah, there's no longer the cookie monster, there's the veggie monster. It's crazy. No, I actually one time I went out in Hidden Meadows
Yeah.
and they had this party out front, right? And I
Uh-huh.
had a mask on and everything. And I don't like wearing masks. We can get into detail about that later. But anywho, so they were having like this dance, like everyone's like dancing out front. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go join them. And then they did the Macarena, they did the electric slide, you know, a bunch of
Yeah.
line dancing. And I was like, dude, this is so fun. I want to stay. So I stayed. And then they're like, who is this guy? Blah, blah, blah. Like everyone was just like, because I was just a random person that showed up, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, who are you? And I took my mask off. And it was so funny because people were like, Sam? I was like, wait, what? Y'all know me? Like, I was so stunned. I took
Wait.
off and I ran again because I was like a little kid, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just funny because it was just like a random house party out front. Like, who parties out front, first of all, you know, unless you don't have enough room in the back. But
Right.
no, I had a pretty good time during that Halloween season. So,
Damn. That. Did you ever find out who they were?
no.
No?
No, not at all. 'Cause
So to this day they know you and you don't know them.
I don't know them. You know,
Oh man.
that's it. Honestly, I'm not gonna. It happens a lot. I'm not gonna lie, because I just go out there. You know, I put my face out there, and then it's kind of hard to just, you know,
Yeah.
recognize everyone else's faces.
Right. Yeah.
You know, my mom, like, a lot of people, like, even though I'm on the radio, like, I get nervous a lot. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm not really the type of person to be like in front of a crowd or anything like
Yeah,
that.
Right.
And my mom, she used to force us to do like talent shows, like at at like my elementary school, and
Oh, man.
and like, what are we gonna do for a talent show? She literally made us sing. Like we don't even have voices, and what I mean by we, like me and my brothers. You know, she's like, no, you guys are gonna participate and you guys are gonna sing. Like what? And like that was the start of it. And then JC, he actually had a pretty good voice. And he would do karaoke. He would go to like chili cook-offs and stuff, and like sing on
See?
stage and everything. You know, for me, even now, I still got to break that ice, break that barrier.
You know,
know.
Timmy really hates talent shows.
Timmy hates talent shows.
I remember in high school he was talking to us about it, and now that makes sense.
Yeah, it almost scarred him, huh?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, he hated it. He's like, best buddy's talent show. No, I'm not going to be there. I don't want to go. Why, Timmy? Come on, let's go. No.
He's like, my mom ruined it. No, that's crazy. I remember when JC did a talent show with Harrison, who was supposed to be our guest tonight, but his buddy just went missing, whatever. But anywho, they did the talent show, the Best Buddies talent show,
Yeah.
and Harrison, he's Australian.
Oh, yeah.
So JC and Harrison sang an Australian song called Good Day, Good Day. And it was probably, I don't want to like hate on it, but it was probably the most awkward talent show I've ever been to. And I've been to a couple. And the reason being is because at the end, like there's like, let's say there's only like 10 performances.
Yeah.
They still had like 20 minutes left until the hour's up. And they're like asking the audience, they're like, well, if anyone else has any talents, you guys can come up here and you know, show off, whatever. And me and JC went up there. We're like, we're going to show you guys how to do different types of push-ups. Bro. No one wanted to see that. And so we did, you know, we did regular push-ups, diamond push-ups, you know, handstand push-ups. And then JC, he's never done this before. He's like, all right, you're going to start in a push-up position, and then he's going to, like, do a handstand while, like, without, like, you know, making his feet touch the ground.
Yeah.
Just all shoulder and triceps. And I was like, JC is going to eat crap right now. Like, he's just going to embarrass himself. And he did it. I was like, bro. And I'm the only one clapping. I'm like, yeah, just because I know he's never done that before.
Yeah.
But everyone in the audience was just like, they wanted to leave so bad, bro. I was like, that sucks, you know?
Yeah.
And when they performed the Good Day, Good Day, they didn't really rehearse. So it was just like, it was so bad, bro. I was like, man, this is the most awkwardest talent show ever. But I've been to some pretty good ones, though.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to some ones where they played, the band was here with Thomas Stibbe, Abstract Feedback.
Yeah.
And they played Crazy Train by
Ozzy Osbourne.
Thank you. And, dude, his brother was on point with the solo.
Oh, yeah.
He's so good on guitar, you know?
Yeah.
And
they're going to be on our show probably, hopefully soon.
Yes. Yeah, because actually we're going to give you guys a little heads up. We've been working on our website a little more.
Yeah.
On our pages. We got some more equipment coming in, so we'll definitely get to be able to, you know, give you guys more better content. So just yeah. I went
not just better, but more better.
Yeah, I went to Best Buy. Well, actually, me and Kyle went to Best Buy last week, and I spent an X amount of money, like a bunch for brand new equipment. You know, brand new camera, tripod, lighting, all that good stuff. Just so, well, I'm sorry to say this, Joe, but you probably won't see us as much here in the studio because we're going to be going out there and doing interviews and stuff and sending it in here so you can have the whole hour to yourself. But it's very exciting because we know a lot of people who wish that we can have them come down to the studio. But
true, yeah.
Unfortunately, like whether their work or just whatever it is, like they're not able to make it. So no excuses, right? The show must go on.
Show must go on.
So we're going to come to you if you can't come to us.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, actually, you know, our guest didn't come in today, and I was like, all right, Kyle, what do you want to do? He's like, dude, let's just inform the people what's going on, this and this and this. We'll have a bunch of topics. I was like, okay, great. In my head, I was like, oh, we'll probably just do another rerun. And then Kyle was like, the show must go on. I was like, yes, I like that.
Whatever works.
Yes, sir, whatever works. And that's one of the things with me. So what you do to one thing, you do to everything, right? If you slack off with your dishes, you're going to slack off making your bed. You're going to slack off with your work. You're going to slack off all that good stuff. And one of my problems is like once there's an excuse not to do something, I'm like, oh, well, that's it. Maybe we shouldn't do it, you know? But with Kyle, he's telling me, he's like, bro, the show must go on. Like regardless of what happens, the show must go on.
It does.
And I appreciate that because that's helping me build my habits, my good habits, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And that's going to help with me a lot. Like today, let me see. Today I had my real estate. I did an open house over in Banning, right, at Sun Lake City.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a retirement community if you guys ever been there. It's actually a pretty nice place. And the house that I was doing an open house at golf course, all this stuff. And I did it from 1 to 4 o'clock. And because of the weather, like, I'm just blaming the weather. But a lot of people don't want to go to an open house when it's raining, right?
Right. Yeah.
And especially with these high interest rates, I'm sure not that many people are going to be looking at houses. Bro, when I got my license beginning of this year, I mean, it was off the roof, you know? Like, people were selling their homes for high prices. People were buying the homes for above asking price, like thousands of dollars above asking price. And I did one open, and interest rates were like, what, 2.3% at the most when I joined.
Yeah.
I did an open house in Chapman Heights. And within like 20 minutes, I had like 17 like families or 17 like couples or groups just like flooding the house. And I didn't know how to handle it, right? It's my first time. I'm like, okay, guys, welcome in, blah, blah. Like, here's some flowers. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Recently, bro, sometimes
Nobody, huh?
Sometimes it'll be a whole hour of just like by myself. But it's really cool though because I get to see houses that I always wanted to like check out. You know, like when you drive by a house, you're like, man, I wonder what it looks like in the inside. Now I have that opportunity.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I think one of the coolest houses, it was actually mind-changing for me because I did a house that was $1.6 million, right?
That's right, you were saying.
And it was a type of style house that I always wanted to like live in, right? You know, with like, I think what they call it, a Santa Rosa like style house. You got like the red tiles up front and you got the pillars and everything.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. And I've always wanted a house like that. I manifested that type of living. So I get there and obviously I'm real excited.
Yeah.
And the house is super big, super nice. The pool's amazing. I'm like, man, this is awesome. But once I was finished with that open house, I was really standing there and I was like, you know what? It didn't like fulfill what I thought it would, like inside me, you know?
Yeah.
Like now I'm more content to having like a smaller house. Like being in that huge mansion really made me like realize that's not what I really want.
Okay.
You know,
All
like
right.
a lot of people like put that in my head, like, oh, you want a big house, you want this and this, you
That's
want
a lot
like,
to clean too.
dude, tell me about it. But if you have that much money, why would you be the one cleaning it? You know,
Yeah,
just
that's true too,
hire
yeah.
someone else to clean it. You know what I mean? But like, it just made me feel more human, realizing like, hey, I don't need this big of a house.
Right.
You know, and like some people say like, oh, if you want like certain things in life, then like be around them. You know what I mean? It's like if your favorite car is a Lamborghini, and if you're just like saying that, but you never been in a Lamborghini or you never like drove a Lamborghini, like go sit in one. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just throughout the day just go sit in a Lamborghini. But if you had the chance, like yeah, definitely go for it, and just like realize how it makes you feel. And if it makes you feel the way you want it, bro, it's gonna help you chase it. And it's gonna help you get it.
Yeah. Exactly.
But for me in that particular situation, I was like, I don't need this big of a house. And it was the exact style that I wanted. Amazing 360 view. You know, palm trees, pool, pillars, like super clean, super open. But it's just not what I actually wanted, I guess, in life, you know?
What's something that you do want? Like, what's your dream house?
My dream house. See, that's a good one. What is that called? I don't know if. Let me see here. My dad asked me that same question actually, and we're talking about that. And I sent him some houses that I liked. He doesn't like big open windows. He's afraid, you know, there's gonna be a red dot on his forehead.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
However, let me see here. What he likes, which is kind of similar to what I like, it's called Art Deco.
Oh, okay.
You know what Art Deco is? So, like, for those of you who don't know, it's actually kind of hard to explain. But yeah, just do your own research, look it up. But it's very like square body with like round corners, and then like in most of these pictures, there's a lot of big open windows and stuff like that. But there is this villa in, I want to say LA, and it's like a museum for like Greek mythology and like Roman art and stuff. And it's so beautiful. And being there, that's like something that I wanted. Like that was like the start of it, you know? Just because of how everything's structured. Like I love Greek mythology. I love you know, just their ideas and just like their architecture. For sure their architecture You know, like I want a statue in front of my in front of my house, like a broken statue. You know,
Broken.
yeah. But I don't know. I start to find art a little more appealing
Yeah.
as I get older. You know, just like I'm an old person, bro. Like people say like, oh, what's your favorite car? I'll be like a Bentley. You know,
Yeah.
and like Bentleys are for like old people. You know what I mean? Or like
Yeah.
just like I'm very simple. You know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, "Oh, bro, you're an old man." I'm like, whatever. But what about you? What's your favorite type of style house? Like Victorian homes are pretty cool, and there's a lot of them
those
here
are
in
pretty
Redlands.
Cool, yeah. I don't know the name of it, but definitely want it overlooking like a waterfall or something.
Overlooking a waterfall? Oh
Yeah.
man, that's a tough one. You know, I sorry to jump around here, but I opened this house in Redlands because like the termite people were gonna come like inspect it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so I beat them there. They actually never showed up that day, which was whatever. But the house looked beautiful, right? And like the outside looked really clean, very mint. But it was like one of those houses in Redlands where it's like it could be haunted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it was one of those things where like there's like the windows on the second floor,
Yeah.
and you can just like picture like someone just like standing like in the window, just like looking at you, you know.
Yeah.
But from the outside, it looks beautiful, and it was like during the day, so I wasn't really like on my nerves or anything.
Yeah.
But I walked in there, I unlocked the door, and it was beat up. Like it was vacant for sure, but there was like the wall was like discolored. There's like different colors on the wall. And like right behind you were like these big mirrors, but right in front of you was a staircase, right?
Yeah.
And it's all wood. And let me backtrack here. When I opened the door, there's a little like message on the door saying the house is very loud, which I didn't understand. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I go in there, and I go to my right because there's like a dining room there. And as I'm walking, I hear footsteps upstairs, and I was freaking out. I was like, "There's no way, bro!" And I started walking back, and as I was walking, I hear the footsteps matching my footsteps. So that message saying the house is loud is just saying like it creaks and makes a bunch of noise.
Yeah.
And every time I took a step, it would move like I don't know, the floor up there. So my footsteps echoed the footsteps upstairs. And it took me a while to like not psych myself out, right? And then like as you're walking out the door, like I told you there's mirrors right there on the door.
Yeah.
You see the stairs from behind you cuz it's the reflection. Bro, I was like I don't want anyone like in those stairs like just like looking, you know what I mean? Like walking out, you just see like something there. And so I walked out. I didn't even go upstairs. I was like, I ain't doing this, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, but I'm so curious on what it looks like up there and like why I was making those noises. So I took out my phone. I started recording, right? I was like, hey, if anything happens, it's recorded, right?
Yeah.
By the way, these stairs, okay, so it has like the stair casing and like the railings, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I still have the videos. I don't want to post it because it's probably wrong, but the staircase pillars are upside down. Like it was so weird. I was like recording. I was like, why? Like it's not even built correctly, and the stairs are super steep, and every step was like it was just like so bad, right? And it looked like a 2-story house, but it was actually 3 stories. Bro, it tripped me out, and I was like, and then there was like this. I go to the 3rd story, and I go into this empty room, and there's just like this plastic carpet, like covering the majority of the floor. And in my head, I was like, I guarantee you, if I move this carpet, there's gonna be like some satanic like ritual, like chalk, like markup or something, you know. But in that room, there was a small little door with like a lock on it. You know, it looked like one of those movies, bro. It was so like surreal. I was like peeking through the keyhole and stuff. But bro, if that doorknob would have started jiggling or something, I would have just like would have jumped out the window or something, you know. But I literally took a video of the whole house, just making sure like if anything happened, you know, I got it on video. And I sent it on Snapchat to like my brothers and my sister. And like at first it's the view of the outside and like, oh wow, that's a pretty house. And then and then the video on the inside, they're like, what the heck, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was so trippy. I never been to a house where it was like so random and like so like creepy, you know? Because like it had like these old like chandeliers. everywhere in the house made noise. Like, it didn't feel like you were by yourself, but I knew I was, you know, and I was just like, and then that message saying the house is loud, that's kind of like saying the house is alive, you know?
You might as well.
Yeah, so it was pretty crazy. Have you ever had any like spooky haunted moments in your life?
So I've been on a few, like, so in college I used to go to Azusa Pacific, and you have Kellogg Hill and San Dimas right there. And there's this forest there called the Enchanted Forest. I've actually talked about it a few weeks ago on the show with one of our guests. And so there's this forest, and at night there's just this random fog. It doesn't matter if it was like clear, gloomy, it was just like fog. And in the middle there was this gate and a house. And if you go inside the house, or if you go near the house and you open the door and you walk outside the gate and you go back into the gate, the door would slam shut. And the gate would slam shut behind you. No one told me that. So I was like trapped in the yard, and I was freaking out. I hopped the fence. I was running full speed. I pulled my phone out, recording. I was like, I'm alive. and I jumped the fence. And oh man, it was like the craziest experience.
That's so funny. I saw a caption on social media, and it was like, if the Titanic sank in like 2022, like you see everyone like with their cameras like recording as like they're drowning. You know, it's just like everyone records everything now. It's so crazy. But when we come back, we're gonna be taking a 5-minute break. When we come back, we're gonna continue talking about little haunted stories, because I got a couple. I'm sure you got more.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think this is the segment for tonight. So let's
sir.
get to it. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
From the Bureau of Economic Geology, this is Earth Date. Graphite, the shiny gray stuff in your pencil, has unexpected powers. When you write with it, you're scraping off a very thin layer. For decades, scientists tried to slice a layer just one atom thick, which they called graphene. But it was only 13 years ago at the University of Manchester that they succeeded. Graphene turned out to be far more miraculous than they could have ever imagined. It's the thinnest compound known to man, thousands of times thinner than the human hair. It's also the lightest, 1,000 times less dense than paper. Graphene is harder than diamonds and 200 times stronger than the strongest steel. Its ability to conduct heat is 1,000 times greater than copper. It's also the best-known conductor of electricity at room temperature. It's impermeable to gases. Not even helium can pass through it, while being transparent, highly flexible, even stretchable. And get this, if it does get torn, it can repair itself. Not surprisingly, this incredible material will transform our lives in the future. It will lead to lighter, faster, more efficient, and much smaller electronics, lighter, stronger aircraft, new industrial products like impermeable paint, consumer products like better tennis rackets, and because graphene is carbon-based, just as we are, the biotech possibilities are too many to mention. Meanwhile, I'm placing bets on a new comic book hero, Graphene Man. You heard it here first on Earth Date. I'm Scott Tinker.
Earth Date is produced by the Bureau of Economic Geology at the University of Texas at Austin. Earth Date is researched by Julie Hennings, written by Harry Lynch, and distributed by Mark Blunt and Casey Walker. For more stories, follow us on Facebook or visit earthdate.org.
Hi, I'm food critic Alan Borgen, and I'm excited to tell you about Ray's Shanghai Bistro, located next to Redlands DMV on Lagonia in Redlands. Ray's Shanghai Bistro offers the largest and most delicious array of traditional and original Chinese dishes available in the Inland Empire. Some of my favorite dishes are the house-made pot stickers, the crisp pork spare ribs with garlic, their unique spicy lamb with bamboo, the sweet and tangy deep-fried orange peel beef, and the savory basil spicy shrimp, plus lots of vegetarian dishes. Whether you dine in, pick up the food, or have them cater your next party or special occasions, you will see why Ray's, spelled R-U-I'-S, Shanghai Bistro, is truly the best Chinese restaurant in the Inland Empire. Their website is raysshanghaibistro.net. That's raysshanghaibistro.net. R-U-I-S, shanghaibistro.net. Happy eating. You won't be disappointed.
The refinance boom is over, but that doesn't mean the mortgage industry is dead. As a matter of fact, we see a new trend swinging in. The pendulum has shifted to buyers, and we expect to see more buyers coming out of the woodworks. These are people who were often outbid and lost out in the bidding wars of the last 10 years. These are people with little or no money down. Now that the market has shifted in their favor, we expect to see a purchase boom down the road. Serve this population segment and make money in the process. Join our team and carve out a system that guarantees you leads and helps you close transactions month after month. But we offer more than transactions. We offer an ecosystem where money works for you and not vice versa, meaning that you don't make money only based on your own and sole efforts. With us, you can make residual income as well. Call us at 415-510-0127 or visit us online at themoneymarket.us.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. If you're in the dark about some of the latest advancements in flashlight technology, here's a quick summary. Conventional flashlights, which rely on bulky D-size batteries and bulbs with filaments, are increasingly being replaced by lights with LEDs. That's light-emitting diodes, or lights with fluorescent bulbs. Unlike other lights, LEDs have no filament to burn out. Instead, they're powered by tiny semiconductors. LEDs draw only a minuscule amount of power, so batteries last much longer than in conventional lights. Fluorescent lights are also taking an increasing share of the market. They're especially popular in lantern-type products. With their elongated fluorescent tubes, they put out a lot of light, so they do a good job of illuminating larger areas, say your dining room during a power outage. Fluorescents do take a lot of power, though, so you'll want to keep plenty of batteries on hand. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
I'm Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And tonight, we're kind of switching it up a little bit. It's me and Kyle here, and we're going to be talking about our little haunted stories that we had in the past. If you guys are just tuning in, if you guys missed out on the first half hour, it's okay. You guys can always go back on Spotify and look up KCAA, whatever works. And you can actually listen to any of our previous videos. Something that's pretty exciting, Kyle is going to be one of my co-hosts for about a year in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
My 1 year anniversary with Whatever Works.
Yeah, so if you guys want to come party with us, it's going to be in 2 weeks on Sunday.
Yeah.
we'll think of some.
October 30th.
Yeah, we'll think of some. We'll plan it out, and I think it would be really awesome if you guys came out, supported it, and just came out and have fun with us. But before we get started with our haunted stories, go ahead, Kyle, give us a little shout out to our sponsors one more time.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And our man Secondhand Sam up at Second Chance Thrift Store next to USA Subs on Ukaipa Boulevard. And real quick, we have a YouTube channel now.
Ooh.
Nothing's on it yet.
But it's getting there.
It's
Progress.
getting there. And our link is on our website, KCAA, whateverworks.com.
Yeah, just go on there, click the little YouTube icon. It takes you straight there. Don't worry, we tested it out plenty of times. We are going to be uploading some videos for you guys. So if you guys did miss out and you guys don't have a Spotify account, you can always go on YouTube and watch us on the big screen. So before we went on break, Kyle had a little funny haunted story. If you want to retell that story real quick, just for the new listeners.
Okay, so basically, I went to Azusa Pacific University, which is over Kellogg Hill. If you know what that's at, if you're a commuter, you definitely know what that is. It's that hill in between San Fernando Valley and Inland Empire. And so San Dimas is the hill on the top, Raging Waters and all that. There's this place called the Enchanted Forest. And it's mysterious. It's always foggy. And so we had this little group at APU where we would go out and just check out these haunted places because, that'd be fun to do. Get a little drink in your system, go check it out. And so someone suggested to me to go to the Enchanted Forest, and it was me, just me. They were just following me. because everyone else has been there like 1,000 times. You know, oh, that's cool. It's cool. Everyone's got to experience it. So we go down there, and they're like, yeah, we're going to go down this trail. It was like half a mile long. And at the end of the trail ends, there's a gate. And then about half an acre down, there's a house. He goes, and once you go inside that house for a few minutes and come out, you know, you can see some creepy stuff. And so one of them went ahead and opened the door. Now, I'll tell you why that's significant in a second. But supposedly, when you open the door and someone new walks into the yard, that door just slams shut. And so someone told me, tipped me off and told me, yeah, that's going to happen. Don't let it scare you, blah, blah, blah. So we go into the yard, and that door slams shut. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. But no one told me the gate behind me slammed shut, too. So now I'm freaking out. I'm running across the yard. Like, this is like 2 acres of property. And I'm running full speed, like 250 pounds, like with my phone out, just like, and I hopped that fence. I didn't think I was going to hop the fence, but I hopped it because I was just so scared.
There you go.
And
Never again, huh?
Never again.
That's funny. Would you ever take people there, though?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's a good spot.
It's a nice little hike anyway.
There you go. So one of my little spooky haunted stories. So we lived in this house our whole life, all right? And I have a little sister. Her name's Rhiannon, and she's about 4 years younger than I am. And Kyle knows her. He actually used to babysit her. Yeah. That's how far back we went. But anywho, at this house, you can walk in a circle and go through the kitchen to the dining room to the living room and back into the kitchen, right? So there's no doors. You can just like run in circles. And in the kitchen, there was the fridge that was aligned or adjacent to the wall, and there was a little gap, and we would put all like, you know, like our broom, our dustpan, our mops and everything right in between the fridge and the wall. Well, my brother Timmy was chasing my sister in circles, you know, going through the kitchen, going through the dining room, going through the living room in circles, chasing her. And he can see her during each corner, and she hid in between the wall and the fridge. And my brother continued to chase what he thought was my sister, but it was what we call our sister ghost, like a little ghost of Riri. God. And Rhiannon was confused, and she jumps out of the wall, and like Timmy freaks out, and she's like, why were you still running in circles? And he was like, I was chasing you. And she was like, I was in between the wall and the fridge the whole time. But that wasn't our only time we encountered this little girl ghost. Like I've seen her. Timmy's chased her around the house thinking that was Rhiannon. My other brother JC, like he's seen her, and it's like we don't know who, what, when, where, or how this little girl is like in the house, you know. But she never did us any harm. Yeah. But it was that moment where like, man, okay, so that's pretty real. Because when I was a kid, I was like, okay, that's just me and my imagination. And then JC, he didn't say anything. He kept his mouth shut. And then Timmy, after that, Timmy was like, bro, you guys wouldn't believe this. And then we all had the same story of the same description of this little girl. And it was just like it was like a ghost version of our sister. Oh, what? And it wasn't even just like the duration of like 10 days we all like experienced. Like this was throughout our lifetime. You know, when I was a little kid, when I was like 6 or 7. Actually, one time my mom was on the couch watching American Idol. That's how long ago it was. And I'm walking to my room and I'm looking at my sister's door. And everyone's out there watching TV with my mom. And I just see that doorknob just start turning just a little bit, bro. And I was in so much shock. I didn't know what to do, so I ran back on the couch. And then another time, see, me and all my brothers, we all shared one room, right? Yeah. And we had a bunk bed. And this was late at night, and I was on the top bunk because it was my brother's bed, and he always has first choice, right? Because he's the oldest, and I always wanted a top bunk. So I was on the top bunk, and I had my dog up there with me, Spots. And it's right up against the window. And so I'm sitting there on my phone, you know, just doing my thing. And then the window opens up, just like pops open. You know, it doesn't fully open, but it's like like as if someone just took it and just moved it like an inch or two. And it's one thing for me to like freak out and notice that, but my dog got up and ran out.
Oh man.
You know, so I was like a deer in headlights. I turned my phone light on and I just shined it out the window. And I stood there for a couple seconds and I finally went down. I was like, "Hey, Dad, someone just tried to like pop open the window like in my room." He's like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, even Spots, like she ran out scared." And so, you know, my dad, being a dad, he went outside, checked the perimeter. He was like, "No, there's nothing here, son." You know, but I just thought it was so strange because like I had those moments before. One time I was sleeping. Well, at least I was trying to go to sleep. And I literally had something whisper in my ear, "Hey." Like, bro, I freaked out.
Oh my god.
You know what the worst thing is?
Huh.
As a kid, when you like freak out and stuff, you just cover yourself in a blanket.
Yeah.
As if that blanket's gonna protect you from all evil.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But I had moments where I heard things say "hey" to me. That house actually kind of tripped me out because another time, I'll let you share another story after this. I was taking a shower, everyone's asleep, and I guess it was just like all in my head, but I started hearing like someone walking in the house and like I started freaking out. I was like, what if like someone's trying to like, you know, kidnap my sister or like, you know, like do something to my family or whatever. And it got so much into my head, like I started hearing noises, like almost like loud noises, to the point where like I literally stopped from my shower. I got out and I peeked out the bathroom door, but it was all dark and it was all pitch quiet and black. And I was like, what the heck? But that house always gave me the chills, dude. Every time.
Was it the house in Douglas?
It was the house on Douglas.
Oh
yeah.
man, I didn't know.
Yeah, and that house was built in 1951, 1952, something like that, early days. And there's some history behind that house.
Really?
You know? Yeah, my parents bought it when I was born.
Yeah.
So 23 years ago. And I mean, we always heard stuff, you know? It was kind of crazy, but that house, I mean, I still love that house. There's so many memories from it, but a lot of it was creepy stuff, so we kind of kept it like that. You got another haunted story to tell us?
No, but I played a little prank. So I used to have this friend. His name was Tim Alanis, and it was him, your brother Timmy, and I forgot who else was there. Oh, Sean. Sean was there. And all three of them, I'm trying to sleep. Like, I'm super tired. I was like, I play video games to like 10, which is like rare. Like, I always play like past midnight. I was like, guys, I got a migraine. I'm just going to go to bed. And these guys were like super loud, super obnoxious. I was like, hey, can you guys like just keep it down like a little bit? And they turned it up. I was like, all right. And they decided like doing like this demon, like they decided to call this demon. And I was like, all right, they're gonna call a demon? Okay. I had this cross in my room. In the middle of the night, I woke up. I put the cross upside down.
Oh no.
And I colored it red with like crayon. And I put "Get Out" on my bedroom wall. And in the bathroom, I put something behind the door so that way when they opened the door, they saw something.
Oh man.
And dude, I went back to sleep, and all three of them woke me up. They're like, "Oh, dude, I think we really called a demon here." I was like, "Really? How do you know?" And they're like, "Dude, just look at the cross above you." I was looking at the cross.
Upside down?
Upside down. I was like, "Whoa, dude."
Crazy.
He's like, "Dude, look at the other wall. It says 'Get Out.'" And Timmy's like freaking out. Like, he's in like full anxiety mode. Tim Alanis is like feeling like super apologetic. He's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know the demon would actually come, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Well, let's just check the house." I was like, "Sean, you go check the bathroom." Because he hasn't gotten scared yet. So I was like, I know I put something in there for him.
Yeah.
And he went to the bathroom and he started screaming. And he ran out. He's like, "There's something in your bathroom." I was like, "What do you mean?" "There's a lot of things in my bathroom." And I go in there and I shut the door, and I fall down. And they're all freaking out. They're all trying to call my mom. It's like, I think someone attacked your son, blah, blah, blah.
That is crazy.
Oh, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We only have 2 minutes, so I'm gonna make this one quick. So my wrestling coach, he would always have all of us over at his house all the time, right?
Yeah.
Because his son, he was the same age, and the coach was awesome. Shout out to Coach Anthony. And one time we brought a Ouija board. We brought it in, and he comes out. He's like, "Get rid of that thing. I don't want it here at my house." Whoop-de-whoop, la-di-da. And we're like, "Okay, coach." I'm like, "We're bad. We're sorry." And so we went out there. We threw it in the dumpster, right? He saw us do that. And before we all left, we took it back out and we put it in his living room, like on the table.
Oh,
and he didn't see us come back in, so he just thought we all went home. And he came back, like he was in his room, and he came out in the living room and he saw that Ouija board again. Bro, you guys know what PT is? We got PT'd pretty hard, bro, because he really thought that, because he believes in that stuff, He's like, he told us to like not to do it in his house. He saw us throw it in the trash can. We left, and then he sees it back in his house, and he freaked out, dude. So, honestly, thank you guys for listening in. We only got about 1 minute left, so we're closing up. Kyle, is there anything else you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, if you haven't heard before, we have our YouTube channel up. We don't have anything yet, but our link is on our website, KCAA
Yeah, check us out, guys. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love the support. Keep it coming. We're going to keep coming. As Kyle says, the show must always go on.
The show must always go on.
So we'll be here next week for you guys. You guys are listening to Whatever Works. I'm Sam.
Is Inland Talk Express is KCAA. This segment sponsored by the generous support of the Dream Team. Looking for the keys to something bigger and better? Downsizing or relocating to the perfect spot? Oscar Ramirez from Century